As Donald Trump's Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is holding private meetings with bankers talking about how the trade war against China and other nations is completely unsustainable and something needs to happen urgently, Donald Trump is posting about plastic straws this morning and banning paper straws. Here's what Donald Trump posted over and over again, multiple articles he's posting from his social media account, and here's what it talks about. When you zoom in, it says, banning plastic straws has greatly inconvenienced consumers for approximately zero environmental impact. The end of paper straws is yet another victory for Trump. Then Donald Trump posts this: I've just spoken to Prime Minister of Israel, Bibi Netanyahu, relative to numerous subjects, including trade, Iran, etc. The call went very well. We are on the same side of every issue. Well, we know you've met with Netanyahu over and over and over again. And of course, you've posted all of those weird AI videos of you and Netanyahu with your shirt off partying in what you call Trump Gaza. I mean, it's absolutely despicable what you are doing and posting. And you're just creating more uncertainty and problems around the world. While that's happening, while you're bragging about speaking with Bibi Netanyahu, let's talk about what's going on around the world. The Chinese government sent a letter to Japanese Prime Minister Ishiba calling for a coordinated response to Donald Trump's tariff measures, according to Japan's news agency. This as Donald Trump's continued to try to bully Japan, who Donald Trump himself entered into a trade deal with in his first administration in 2019. But he wants Japan to do a humiliation ritual in public. And even Prime Minister Ishiba was like, why would I do that? I'm not going back on the 2019 plan. So we went from a Trans-Pacific partnership involving Southeast Asian nations, involving Asia, to check China's growth, to now China, Japan, South Korea, all joining essentially in lockstep and isolating the United States, or at least taking steps in that direction. The headline from the Wall Street Journal: the Dow is headed for the worst April since 1932 as investors send a no confidence signal. This one from the Wall Street Journal as well. Trump is laying the groundwork to blame Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell for any downturn in the markets. And we reported yesterday how Donald Trump woke up by calling Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, a quote, major loser, and was mocking him and calling him too late Powell. We should call you too low Donald, because if you look at the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P since you took office, while you're out there posting about banning paper straws or whatever the hell you're doing this morning, the Dow is down about 13.8% since you took office. The NASDAQ down 20.5% since you took office, and the S&P down 15.5% since you took office. If you look at what's referred to as the Magnificent Seven stocks this year, which is Nvidia, Amazon, Alphabet, which is Google, Apple, Meta, which is Facebook, Microsoft, and Tesla, take a look. Nvidia down 26% this year, Amazon down 22%, Alphabet down 21%, Apple down 21%, Meta down 17%, Microsoft down 14%, Tesla down 42%. I guess this is making everybody great, Donald, right? I mean, you're crushing consumers, you're crushing the Americans' 401ks and pensions plans, and there you are talking about plastic straws this morning and your great phone call with Bibi Netanyahu. I think this is something that needs more attention. We've been covering it a lot here on the Midas Touch Network, and hat tip to Carl Quintanilla, a business reporter on CNBC, who's referring to this summer as Scarcity Summer. The issue is that a lot of the materials that we import from China are no longer coming. Freight is down to like an all-time low. I mean, you're not seeing ships filled with containers, or certainly anywhere near they were, coming into our shores. And so the problem we're going to see is that the different component parts for air conditioning over the summer, school supplies, Wall Street Journal's headline, from fake eyelashes to Care Bears, U.S.-bound goods are stuck in tariff limbo. Some companies are torn. Do they revamp supply chains or wait for the trade war to end? Basically, what we're doing is eating our inventory and hoping that it will last until it gets settled. And it's going both ways, of course, as well. But are we going to run out of stuff here? And how are American manufacturers here going to export? It goes both ways, and Americans are getting absolutely crushed. Also, you have the European Commission President von der Leyen. In recent weeks, she has spoken with leaders from Iceland, New Zealand, Malaysia, the Philippines, Canada, India, the United Arab Emirates, who are looking for strong, reliable partners. So while the United States is run right now by like a madman, demented maniac in Trump, the rest of the world is, you see what's happening? The rest of the world is forming new alliance structures. I mean, you've got Europe asserting itself. You've got China forming its alliances. And I know that the view of Marco Rubio is that, we live in a multipolar system. America should not lead the world. I mean, that's literally what Marco Rubio said. But what's happening to America is it's becoming an isolated, what's happened, I should say, is that it's become an isolated pariah state because of the Trump regime and because of people he puts in charge. I mean, look, you've got Pete Hegseth making his rounds on Fox. He's a former Fox News host. This was an interesting piece where Brian Kilmeade, the Fox host, referred to Pete Hegseth as former secretary. Play this clip.
Here to set the record straight himself, the current Secretary of State, Pete Hegseth, former host right here on Fox and Friends. Pete, hey, great Brian. To see you, Mr. Secretary.
Great to see you.
And just so you see how unhinged Hegseth was in this interview when he was trying to talk about how he wasn't sending war plans when we saw what the war plans were. He goes, those weren't war plans. And now we learned that he was sending these on Signal Communications to his wife and brother. This is him ranting and raving in unhinged fashion this morning. Play this clip.
What was shared over Signal then and now, however you characterize it, was informal, unclassified coordinations for media coordination and other things.
Just so you see him again, it's like, what? Like, this is an unstable human being. Play this clip.
Why would it surprise anybody, Brian, if those very same people keep leaking to the very same reporters whatever information they think they can have to try to sabotage the agenda of the president or the secretary? So once a leaker, always a.
Even Americans watching the shopping channel can't escape Trump's economy wrecking policies, as American Bridge 21st Century explains this morning here. Watch what happens when you turn on like QVC or one of these channels. They're all talking about tariffs. Play this clip.
To be working on it and all of that stuff. So I will say this, we are talking about tariffs, and I know I get it because a lot of people are writing in, they're like, don't say it, I don't want to hear the word tariff again. But right now, 250% increase in tariffs. That's what we're facing. So all of these items, seriously, they will never come back for that price tag of $24.99. And they may never come back, period. Take a close-up look. This is the final 19.
And finally, some good news on the Midas Touch front that I want to report. The Webby Awards were announced. The Midas Touch Network won the Webby Podcast of the Year award, which is their highest honor given to any podcast. This is what the Webby Award said, and we're honored to receive this award. They said, we are proud to announce the Midas Touch as Webby Podcast of the Year for its extraordinary impact on political commentary, becoming a cultural touchstone and much listened for millions through its sharp analysis and dynamic conversations. Well, we are grateful. We appreciate that, but it's teamwork. It's the Midas Mighty. It's everybody watching this who subscribed to this network, who goes to our Substack, MeidasPlus.com, who checks us out at Patreon.com/MeidasTouch as well. And look, we are facing a threat to our democracy from an authoritarian regime, the Trump regime. This guy right here, this guy yesterday at the Easter egg roll who was showing children a card depicting the purported Butler assassination attempt. This is what he's showing children. As Jennifer Aaron Valent says, MAGA isn't simply a political viewpoint. It's a poisonous ideology. And as someone who worked with kids for years, I feel heartsick seeing kiddos indoctrinated by this stuff right here. One other thing to point out, last October, the International Monetary Fund projected the 2025 U.S. inflation rate would be 1.9%. This morning, they project it would be 3.0%. Donald Trump did this. Brenda Duke pointed that out. Heather Long, economist, writer at Washington Post, said, "We all know President Trump's trade policies are causing serious harm to the economy, but it's still shocking to see it in the charts. Economic policy uncertainty in March was already as high as the early pandemic. Just wait until the April data comes out and the trade policy uncertainty red line is truly unprecedented." There we have it. We'll give you more updates as we learn more. And while all of this was going on, as I said at the outset, you have Scott Bessent meeting with bankers. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent told a closed-door investor summit Tuesday that the tariff standoff with China is unsustainable and that he needs the situation to de-escalate. Bessent added that negotiations haven't started, but that a deal is possible, he says. Treasury Department did not respond for comment. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 5 million subscribers.
Can't get enough Midas? Check out the Midas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MeidasPlus.com.